I want to go back to something else you said.
Was being black.
Dr. Johnson, hold on a minute.
The only crime they committed was being black, my brother.
Okay, calm down.
No, I'm calm. I'm very calm.
No, calm down. Let's dialogue.
But
you said that the government...
So when we're on the telephone, it may appear that I'm not calm, but I'm quite calm. I'm laying in my hotel bed, as a matter of fact, talking to you.
Okay, let me ask. You said that the government doesn't... First, let me ask, who doesn't want you here? You said they don't want us here. Who doesn't want you here?
The American social order, which includes the government as well as sympathizing whites, which includes the majority of them. And you don't have to take my opinion for it. There's been polls done for the past 50 years that clearly show that most white people would desire an America without black people. Are you telling me you don't know that? Is that not why we have segregation?
I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that.
Is that not why we have segregation?
Let me ask you this.
Is that not why most white people prefer to live with white folks? Is that not why most white people would prefer that their kids go to an all-white school? Are you telling me you don't understand white supremacy? I'm sure you're an intelligent black man. Please don't tell me you don't understand white supremacy exists in this country.
Let me tell you why most white Americans and good black folks don't want to live with other black people, because they don't want to live in ghettos. They don't want to live in crime-ridden areas. They don't want to go to school. Let me finish. Yeah, I'll let you ask, but hold on. They don't want to go to schools in the urban area where your children's lives are at risk, or they are called white if they try to do well in school. Why would anybody with any common sense want to live in those types of environments?
Okay. Well, first of all, I have to say this. With all respect, you are a sad case, my brother.
What did I do?
I mean, you totally identify with the enemies of your people. You have no compassion.
What did I do?
For your people. You are the reason that I became a psychologist, to help self-hating black people overcome their trauma. I mean, to hear you talk, it's a shame that we have black men like you who should be fighting for their people.
I am fighting for my people.
Protecting their integrity.
Hold on, Dr. Johnson. Let me take a break. Hey, folks, welcome back. It is Manhood Hour every Wednesday, last hour of the day, rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I've spent the last 24 years rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I do love black people. I love black people. And I'm talking with Dr. Umar Johnson. He is a psychologist and Pan-Africanist. We're going to tell you how to get his book, how to get to his website, and all that good stuff in a minute. And the board is smoking here, so we are going to get to all of your calls. But, Doctor, before we go to the calls, I need to know three things that you said. Just kind of clarify for me. You said that we talked about how you said that white people don't go to the same school with blacks. They want to move away from the black communities and things like that. And I said black people are doing it too. People like Jay-Z. You heard of Jay-Z, right? And Beyonce.
Yes,
and Beyonce, you heard of her, right?
Yes,
Beyonce.
We have a sizable black bourgeoisie. We do have a black bourgeoisie.
And you heard?
Can be, yes.
Let me just finish. You heard of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, right?
Yes, I have.
They moved out. You heard of Oprah? Mm-hmm. She moved out. Are those black people racist against white folk? Are those black people racist against black people as well for moving out of those ghettos?
Okay. Well, first of all, the people that you named represent an extremely small minority amongst the larger population of African Americans.
Are they racist against blacks?
Hold on. I'm going to answer the question. But it's important when we have conversations like this that we don't look for exceptions to the rule. We have to look at the conditions of the everyday black person. And the average black person isn't able to afford a lifestyle.
That's not what I'm asking you. You're wasting my time here.
Now,
are they racist against blacks?
Black people cannot be racist. They can only be victims or agents of racism, but they cannot be racist.
So these black successful folks who move out, these black successful folks who move out and don't let their children go to the inner city schools are not racist, but white people who move out of the ghettos are racist.
Yes,
in your opinion.
In order to be a racist, you must belong to a group that has the power to exercise oppression against the other. although Jay-Z and Oprah may be rich, they did not belong.
Obama is the president. He has the power to.
He is the president. But
does he have the power to present racism toward others?
Does he have the power to present racism towards others? President Obama is not a white male. And because he's not a white male, he cannot be racist. He can only be an agent of the racism.
Oh,
President
Jesus.
Obama is an agent of racism.
Even Louis Farrakhan. Even Louis Farrakhan. Even Louis Farrakhan and what's that other racist guy name? The preacher? Jeremiah Wright Jr. Jeremiah Wright Jr. moved onto a golf course and got a fence around his home to keep away from the blacks. Is he racist?
Really? Well, I haven't heard you mention Rush Limbaugh,
what
who's
about
identified a racist, and I haven't heard you mention Billy Graham, who was also a racist.
No, you accuse white people moving out of the black communities because they were racist, and I say you're wrong about that. And I named all these black people.
Do you know your history?
I named these black people who move out. Even Snoop Dogg moved out. And you said they can't be a racist. So either you don't know what you're talking about, or you've been deceived.
Do you know how ghettos were created? Ghettos were created between World War I and World War II. When black people came up during the Great Migration, white people fled the inner cities where they used to dominate and ran to the suburbs because they didn't want to live around black.
Do you live in the inner city?
Do you
live in the inner cities?
Yes, I do.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. No. We heard that crap. We heard that.
JC, because you keep on oppressing the truth. Don't oppress the truth, my brother. If I'm allowing you to express yourself and I don't have a problem.
I know, but make yours short because you're going on too long. We're going to get some calls.
No, I'm not going on long. It's only because I'm disagreeing with you and you want to dominate the conversation.
No, you're taking too long.
Okay, let me make this statement. The Federal Housing Association, along with the American Social Order, which includes the government and white people, created ghettos through the Federal Housing Association by giving white people low-interest loans, which allow poor white people to move to the suburbs, and then they deny the same low-interest loans to black people living in the ghettos, thereby trapping us in the ghetto and allowing white people to escape. You need to study your history on how ghettos were created.
Let me ask you this.
Jewish word.
Let me say
this. It is a Jewish word.
Okay, I heard all that.
It is a Jewish word.
Let me ask this.
It referred to the poor white Jews who once dominated in America's city, but were given white privilege. Okay, white affirmative action
hold on.
in the form of low-interest loans by the Federal Housing Association.
Doctor, hold on. Let me ask this.
Don't mislead your listeners.
I know, but stay with me.
Don't mislead your listeners.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask. So let's say that social engineering did happen or is happening or did happen. Once they put black people in those areas, what prevent black people from keeping those areas clean, safe? Why do they kill each other? Why don't?
Beautiful question.
Is it that the white man is causing them to live an immoral lifestyle as well?
Okay. Well, it's interesting you put morals in the equation, because if you look at white America, including suburban white America, if you want to evaluate people's morals, they're no more moralistic than anyone else.
But you're not answering my question.
How immoral
are the white people causing black people to live? Listen,
from realizing a decent quality of life so that you can do such. Racism is inherently immoral. But to answer your question, why ghettos remain ghettos is because black people are denied systematically, as I said earlier, access to capital that would allow them
who caused black?
We are denied access to wealth. We are denied access to community credit that would allow us to build up our community. That's why ghettos stay ghettos. In fact, my brother.
So the white man is to blame. Why are black people so dumb that they let white people control them like this?
Who controls the economic system in America? Black people.
Obama.
Or white people?
Obama at this point.
Obama doesn't control anything. Obama is an employee.
The NAACP, Jesse Jackson, Louis Farrakhan, and all those folks.
Obama is simply the face on white supremacy.
So why?
It's not a force behind
why did you people want a black president if he wasn't going to be of any good to you?
Beautiful question, my brother. Beautiful question, my brother. And my answer is real simple. Because black people are just as politically uneducated and ignorant about how America really functions as are white people.
So we should not have given you a black president? We should not have given you a black president?
It was irrelevant. We've already had black presidents. We already had them.
Who?
Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington,
Oh,
Calvin Coolidge. All these men were
okay.
biracial.
Let me take a
So
quick
Obama
break.
was
We're
the
coming
first-
straight back to the phones. Right after this break, folks, we're going to go directly to the phone. Dr. Johnson is with me back in a moment. 888-775-3773. Dr. Umar Johnson is with me. And we're going to tell you how to get to his website here in a minute. But I want to get in some calls here. Let's go out to Los Angeles, California first and talk to the Baba Go-To guy. Baba Go-To guy, good morning, sir. You're on with Dr. Johnson.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
That last comment about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson.
You're not going to
being
say
the
good
first-
morning to Dr. Johnson?
Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning, Dr. Johnson. But we're not
Good
supposed
morning.
to say that because we're blue-eyed devils. We're not supposed to do that. Anyway, Doctor, that was the most. That was mind-boggling. So now George Washington was the first black president. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, first let me say that I never referred to white people as blue-eyed devils. Second, let me say that I think it would be in your best interest to read a book called The Five Negro Presidents that talks about the biracial heritage of 5 of America's leading presidents. Many of them were African.
So what are we arguing
descent.
about here then? If we're all
Right.
black, what are we arguing about?
If you have
Because
black
they
presidents already, why are you mad at the white folks?
Yeah,
Well,
George
number
Washington was
one,
black. There is no white.
Number one, why are we equating a black president with black progress? Why is that being equated? Having
Well,
a
if you
black
can equate a
president
white
doesn't
man
equal
to being
black
a
progress.
black president, we can do that too, I guess.
Wait, say that one more time. I didn't hear that.
If you can equate a white man to being a black president, I guess we can do any kind of logic now.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of white people in America, have some very strong African ancestry within their tree that they don't like to talk about.
Well, that's right, my brother. So then there is no white people around. We're all black.
No, not true. Not true.
So,
Not true.
so what's the
Not
point?
True. Not true. Because there's direct descendants of Africa
No,
and then there's
George
indirect
Washington's
descendants
about
of
as white as
Africa.
you can get. Now, if George Washington was black, as you say, then I don't know what we're arguing about here.
Well, he was a biracial ancestry. But being biracial does not eliminate the race issue because most white people desire a pure white race. I mean, the basis of white supremacy is white genetic survival. Most white people do not desire to mix with black. And that's one of the biggest reasons you have such oppressive strategies being engineered against African people. Police
not
brutality,
true. It was
homicide,
actually
gun violence.
What an imagination. Your imagination, Doctor, your imagination due to your anger and racist attitude toward white Americans have gone
I
wild.
haven't projected any anger.
Gone
I
wild.
haven't projected any anger during this conversation today, gentlemen.
But your wild imagination implies that your resentment toward white Americans will not
Actually,
allow you to
everything that I've
think
stated
straight.
Can be backed up with solid facts.
I'm sorry?
Everything that I've stated on your show today can be factually proven using information from mainstream white America.
I mean,
Nothing
black
I've said
doc-
is based on opinion. It's all based on facts.
This black doctor's racism is rooted in the same ungodly socialism.
So let me
black
ask you a
race,
question
and it's
to the
all
listener,
the
to the
same
listener,
thing. They have the same
to the listener.
economic
I have a question for you,
socialism
sir.
for everybody.
Do you believe America is fair to African Americans? Do you believe that there's not
more than
racism in
fair.
this society?
More than fair. Gone out of their way to be fair.
So how do you
Yes.
explain
There's
only
been a
one
lot
out
of
of every
things going
4?
on.
How do you explain 1 out of every 4 African American boys graduating from high school?
Because
How
of
do
the
you
black-
explain
because
2 out of every 4 African American males being under some form
away
of
from the black
supervision
man and
under
give
the criminal
almost
justice
Hold
system?
on, one at a time.
How
Hold
do you
on.
Okay.
Go ahead,
That's-
Baba, go to guy.
Yeah, you asked me the question because blame for anything they do was taken, and you're doing that this morning. Blame for anything they do is taken away from the black man and given to the white man. How are they ever going to get any better? They won't.
Let me explain why it's like that. Due to the destruction of the family.
You guys,
Hold on, Doc. Hold on, Doc. Let me,
are
Doc.
masters of distortion
Doc,
and
hold
denial.
on. You asked, how do you explain
two are
that?
masters
Thank you, Baba, go
of
to guy.
distortion and denial.
Doc, let me explain it real fast. Hold on. Hold on, Doc. I haven't said yet. I haven't explained yet. The reason for that, due to the lack of family, the destruction of the family in the black community,
And who's
due to the lack of more character. Hold on, Doc. Due to the lack of more character, most black people are suffering not because of racism, but the lack of more character. Due to the fact that most black people don't think for themselves, they listen to other racist so-called black leaders, and they're being brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. They rely on the government to take care of them instead of themselves. Let's go out to Nashville and talk to Jarvis. Jarvis, you're on with Dr. Johnson.
May I ask you a question before you go to Jarvis?
Go ahead.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Here's my question. During the break, I heard a commercial from you. Listen up. It said, in order to rebuild the family, we have to rebuild the man.
Yes.
I heard you say that.
Yes.
Now, if we have to rebuild the man in order to rebuild the family, how can you claim that the United States government isn't the primary destroyer of the black family when they are the ones locking up all the black men, preventing them from building their families? If the government is locking all the black men up, how in the hell can we rebuild black families?
If the black men have fathers and mothers raising them, if the black males, let me finish. You asked me a question. Hold on.
The fathers are in jail.
If these young black people have, hold on, Doc.
Locking up all the fathers.
If they have fathers and mothers,
they're in jail.
Hold on, Doc.
What are you going to do about the incarceration system?
Go ahead, Jarvis. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna give him a little quick summary of who I am. I'm a young black dude. I'm 26 now. I used to be in the game. I used to run the street. By the grace of God, I never been to jail. I lived in the ghetto all my life. Recently, as last year, I worked my way out of the ghetto, me and my wife and kids. And now I do not live in the ghetto. I work for everything I have now. I'm not on no government assistance. I do for myself. How come them people that you're saying that are victims can't do the same as I did?
Excellent question. Excellent question. One of the first things that I found interesting in your statement is that you referred to African Americans as those people as if you're separate from that group. So right there, that tells me your degree of consciousness.
Technically speaking, I'm not an African.
That's your denial.
No. I'm going to tell you. What my.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me take a quick break. I'll let you finish. And what's your website? How can folks get your book?
The website is drumarjohnson.com. That's drumarjohnson.com. They can order the book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, directly from the website. I recommend that all persons working with African American children or who are interested in helping African American children read that book. It's the only one ever written by a black male school psychologist that teaches people how to fight back against the special education machine as well as the ADHD and Ritalin machine.
Okay. Jarvis, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Doctor, how do you respond to Jarvis that he was able to pull himself up? Why can't other black folks do the same?
Well, one of my issues with Jarvis's comment was it was totally based on his own individual experience. One thing that we have to do is stop looking at the world only through the conditions under which we live and the obstacles in our path. We have to look at what is going on with all of our people. What is the general condition? I'm glad that Jarvis was able to do what he did, and I'm very proud of my brother. But it sounds like he was only interested in getting away from his people. As he said, I moved out the ghetto. I want to know why he didn't stay in the ghetto and help the other people in the ghetto move up. In other words,
let me tell you why. Because number one, I got shot.
Let me tell you, Doctor. Hold on. Because of time, Doctor. Hold on. Let me tell you.
Look. I'm gonna tell you something right quick, man. Number one, I got shot by another black person. Number two, the crime is so heavy you can't even go around the corner without somebody breaking into somebody else's house or trying to kill somebody else for no particular reason. I'm not trying to get away from nobody.
But where do those circumstances come from, Jarvis?
Hold on. You hold on. You hold on. Listen to me. This is what happened.
Real fast, y'all.
You don't stay over there and raise kids in that kind of environment. My great-great-grandma came from communist Cuba, dog. You know what I'm saying? She told me what it's like. You get away from that crap.
His community and improve it.
No,
a real black man would have stayed in his community.
You know what? You're an idiot. That's what you are.
That's what a real black man would have done. A real black man wouldn't have ran away from his people.
Shut up, idiot.
A real black
man. I gotta go. Dr. Johnson, thank you so much for being with me. So we'll have you back.
Thank you. Let's do it again sometime.